Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we're live. I'm live on YouTube and X right now. You can see I've got my Karate Combat shirt on. Let's go. Karate Combat event coming up this weekend in Miami. I am planning on being there, and I'll be there for anybody that cares. I'm down to take pictures and things. I was thinking of having a T-shirt made that has measurements on the front of it, so that you can, people that come up to me for photos and things, they can just stand next to me in the shirt and see how tall they are based on how tall I am. I thought that'd be fun. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for this weekend, but Karate Combat this weekend, we're going to go over that a little bit. Actually, we'll just touch base on that now while the live stream is being announced to everybody. But it looks like a pretty big event. I'm pretty sure, Pereira. I think his sister's fighting again. She's pretty good too. I don't know why this is not coming up for me right now. Where events? Let's see. I'm pretty sure they have it, but I'm not seeing it. They've got this other stuff that I bet on here and there when I see it pop up. I know they have an event this weekend because they invited me to it. So I'm not sure why it's not showing up on their website. News about us. I'm not sure what's happening. This isn't it, because this one was just in Dubai. I don't know why it's not on their website, so I can't tell you about it. I can't show it to you. Or is this it? I don't think this is it either. This is 39. Is it 39 right now? No, that's May 29th. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I know I'm pretty sure it's this weekend. I might have to follow up and make sure. But I'm pretty sure it's coming up this weekend. So it's going to be Karate Combat in Miami. And if it is this weekend, for sure, I'm going to be there. We'll just put it that way. So, and I will just say that, like, if you do attend, and you're in the Miami area and you go to the Karate Combat event and you see me, just give me a little tap or something so that I know. Just a little, like, hey, so that way I turn around and I face you, or you just come up to me. I get weird when people if somebody grabs me, because that typically is what happens in a bar or something, and then I have to knock your teeth out. So just don't grab me, but yeah, just give me a little tap and say, hey, what's up, man? Can I get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, totally. And then we'll take a picture, and then it's all good. Once I know, like, you're cool people, man, then it's all good. But I'm always a little nervous, especially in big crowds, especially at, like, fight events. Not so much at fight events, because most fighters that I know they don't like to just, like, randomly do dumb shit. Like, most fighters I know are just very humble, very cool. They just, they do all their fighting in the cage or the ring or the pit or whatever. So, but I do have, like, a weird social anxiety. So that's all I ask. If I feel somebody, because a lot of times if I'm out in public or if I'm in a club or something like that, which isn't very often at all anymore, but if I am and I feel somebody, like, bumping into the back of me and I turn, I notice a lot of people like to just walk up to this is a Florida thing. I think it's mostly Florida people. They just walk up behind me and they'll get back to back with me while somebody's taking a photo. They don't even say anything to me. They just do that dumb shit. So anyway, yeah, but anyway, yeah, I will be available and I will be totally happy to take a photo and stuff. Just give me a little tap and a little warning. That's all. I made a monster trade this morning and I'm very proud of it. To me, it was a monster trade. I made like $1,144 this morning at the market open. And man, it was the trade that I had set up last night. I thought it was going to happen through the night, like in the middle of the night. And so I had all these triggers and everything set up, and instead the market decided to go against me because it was a short and it went against me. And so I ended up losing $300 because I got stopped out over the middle of the night. And then I was just eyeballing it. I was literally watching market open candles on the 1 minute. And I started with the 15 minute, and I have this little system that I do in market opens, and it works almost every time. It's really good. And I was doing that, and then I just kept following the price and following this, and I alerted everybody. I posted on the cryptocrow.io website, because people have been asking me, like, hey, when are you going to start talking about your trades and things before they happen, or like when they're happening? And I'm like, I'm just telling everybody now, like, I do get some good trades in. but I am still learning. So you have to trade at your own risk. Like nothing I'm doing on cryptocrow.io is like a testament to like you should follow everything I do. I'm not arrogant enough to think I'm a master trader. I don't want any of you to think I'm a master trader. I'm sharing this. It was a 17x short. It was a 13% trade because I went in, like I basically laddered into the trade until I got to almost $9,000 in the trade. And, you know, this was after a little bit of flip flopping. I got stopped out a couple times, and then I'm like, okay. And then I got a clear trigger on the Flux Charts Indicator, mind you. And I can show that to you. I don't know if I have that turned on this browser, but man, that Flux Chart Indicator triggered right at a moment when I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen. And it popped up on me, gave me the 3 stop losses. And I was like, all right. And then I was looking at, there were so many different things that I was looking at because I was using Trade Travel Chills Indicator, which is so freaking good. I'm getting to a point where I'm basically just using Trade Travel Chills Indicator suite with the colored candles and the vector candles and the purples and the blues and all that. Now I know how to read that, and I understand what it means by looking at it. And then just the way that her indicator lines out things like the mid-market, the highs of the week, the negative 50% Asia line was like a big deal for me because it's about when I got out of my trade. And it was such an exciting but stressful morning. Let me just say that. But as soon as I went into the trade, I posted on my cryptocrow.io and I said, here's a screenshot I got into this trade. This is a screenshot of the Flux Charts Indicator. These are its 3 take profits and all of that stuff. And man, it was playing out. It was playing out like crazy. And I ended up calling my wife over at about, I think I was about up $700 on the trade. And I called my wife and I'm like, this is the shit that I'm doing. I'm like, this is why I'm putting so much time into learning and doing all this stuff. And she just sat there with me and just watched the price go up. And like, once it broke 1,000, I was like, all right, I'm going to start trailing my stop. I'm like, because this could have a long ways to go or it may not. And I'm like, at this point, I explained to her the point we were at. And man, it really did well. Allie, there's a link in the description. The Flux Charts Indicator, there's a link in the description. The Trade Travel Chill Indicator that I use as well is basically a part of her course. And I will say I am in Annie's Trade Travel Chill course more than anything else. I'm in there pretty much all day, every day now. I love the people that are in there. There are a lot of newcomers. There are a lot of pros. There are a lot of everybody. And Annie pops in like the female Jesus, you know what I mean? And it's just such an exciting, interesting group, man. Because what she says is lore. Like what she says is gospel, and rightfully so, because she's fire as hell. So, but yeah, that's how you get her indicator. And there are other indicators that you get as well. Like there's like a heat map overlay thing that you can throw on your, but I use the TradingView software. I don't necessarily chart in the browser anymore. I actually use the software. So that one plugin doesn't work for me. But anyway, but yeah, I'm doing so much stuff, and my wife and we were just watching it. And once it got to like $1,200, I'm like, I just kept, trailing my stop loss down. And then, this was the post. Flux just triggered a short on the 15-minute. And I posted the feature was the screenshot of where I entered the trade and the trigger. And, I ended up getting out right here. This is where I ended up exiting the trade. And because I'm like, we hit the negative 50% Asia. And we needed to work through that. This was part of the Trade Travel Chill Indicator, as well as these like Asia, UK, all of that is part of Trade Travel Chill. The colored candles, we had the vector. This turned into a blue vector or a purple vector candle, I'm pretty sure. Which means it's like a high volume candle. That means there's a lot of momentum and it's likely going to continue. And it just went really well. Everything lined up perfectly, and Flux Charts really did, like, no bullshit, folks. Like that gave me the confidence that I really needed because as soon as this triggered, I went boom, boom, boom. I was in, because I was already in my head thinking I'm going to do this. I'm getting into this. This is what I've been waiting for. And then when that popped up, I was like, it couldn't have been better timing. And I just let it play out. I didn't trail my stop. I put my stop loss up a little high for a while. Once I got to a point where my stop loss was like 300 plus profit, with room to maneuver back and forth, because I didn't want to get stopped out prematurely. And it just, man, it really couldn't have went better. But once we got down here, in the middle of this fair value gap, it already cleared through this first one, which was a big one. And it's like we get little retests in here. Like if I took screenshots of all of it, but I'm not logged in on this account. But it retested a bit, kept coming down. Once it got down here to the high of the week, that's where it started struggling. And that's where it was hitting a lot of orders. And I'm like, you know what? This is probably going to be it, probably either for the afternoon or for the day. And it's very likely going to come down and trigger all of these. I do believe that in the overall scheme of the crypto market right now, we are in the midst of a corrective cycle, and I don't know how far it'll go, but we do have the CME futures gap that bottoms out around 14,440, if I'm not mistaken. And typically when we fill those gaps, we wick down just a little bit further to get those little liquidity grabs taken care of. And we try to sweep as much as possible before we get our turnaround to the upside. And I really think that that's going to be the play out here. Which is fine. I mean, that's totally fine. Let me look at Bitcoin real quick. My charts are completely different on this system than they are on my main trade system, just so you know. But yeah, I mean, you can see we came down here into the 119. We bottomed out. We wicked down about 119, 180, and then pulled back up. And, we got our correction. We're bouncing off the moving average. It looks like it's wanting to work its way back down. What time is it? 2:00. So we've got 3 hours in the U.S. market open still. And I'm pretty sure this is my VWAP. Let me double check. No, I don't have VWAP on this system yet. VWAP, I'm telling you, that's another thing, too, that I use religiously is the VWAP. That thing is like... I've been learning that the VWAP indicator is like the alpha dog in the room. Like when that thing moves, everything moves around it. It's like a buffalo and its flies, the buffalo moves and the flies follow it. I mean, that's kind of what happens with the VWAP. And when price breaks that VWAP and then comes down and then retests it, as it, bounces up against it, or it bounces down and recovers, I'm telling you, those mean something. I don't even have it on this grading. I think that'll probably help everybody. But I do think we're going to continue down. I really do. And I think it's probably going to be very eye-opening at some of these points. But, it's not the end of it all. It's just where I see things happening short term. On a macro level, we're still going. I really don't think that this is going to slow down that much until we probably break like 150 grand is my guess. And then if we look too at Cardano against Bitcoin, if we line this up so that the candles are right on top of each other, this is an interesting perspective here, because when we came all the way down here, we dropped in Bitcoin dominance by about 3%. And you can see Cardano's price basically topped out, went up about 46% from where it was. So this is all still in play, man. And like Bitcoin dominance, the growth of its market capitalization, the fluctuations of its dominance are playing crazy train with the altcoins. And we haven't even really begun Bitcoin's dominance correction yet, or its downtrend in dominance. And when that kicks off, I really do, because every time it happens, Cardano gets the bulk of it. I'm telling you now. I mean, you can look at it anytime you want. Cardano is outperforming just about every major altcoin on the market when dominance drops in Bitcoin. And rightfully so, man. I mean, I think the whales, the major players in the space understand the Cardano tech. And, it's like, I know that I know that this market cycle has been tough. And I think a lot of the toughness and the time situation is basically, that's okay, better late than never, Ava. I see you down there. I think it's a perception thing. I really, really do, because we're still on par as a normal market cycle. Nothing has really changed that much. The only thing that was different this market cycle compared to previous cycles was the what were the ETFs and the little mini pump peak that we had. Was that back in December last year or something? I don't even remember when it was anymore. I've already forgotten all about it. And I just think that threw everyone off. I think everybody thought, okay, we're going to start shooting up from here. The bull market begins, and everybody was all amped up. And then it reversed and it went down, and everything went down. And then it went sideways and consolidated for quite a while. And so, and as I always say, when the market is shaky and you're just unsure, learn. I mean, that's what I've been doing. I'm learning to trade. I've been learning to trade. I've been vibe coding. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys this. I just launched this. Crow Score is now live. For some of you, it'll be a big deal. For some of you, it won't. I don't know. This is a beta. But this is basically, I built this, man. I built this. I finally launched it. I've been trying to build this platform for so damn long, and I finally built it. And I'm actually, the next video I do after I'm done going live here is I'm going to be shooting an exclusive video for CryptoCrow.io where I'm going to be going through Coti, C-O-T-I. I'm gonna schedule it for main YouTube. It's probably going to come out in a week. But my CryptoCrow.io folks are going to get access to it first, and they're going to be able to watch that for a week before it hits the public. And I'm going to start doing that religiously. But what this platform is I've set it up so that you can buy, and I set it all up cheap. It's cheap right now. You can buy a full report for $5. And then if somebody already ran a report on a crypto asset, it goes into a marketplace. You could buy a copy of it for $3. Because it's not being regenerated. But basically what this is it kind of breaks it down here where it kind of goes over all the different research categories and the scoring system metrics and everything. But it's a much deeper than this. This is the gist of the platform. I've got it's 12 specialized deep research agents that go out, and each of them researches a very specific category related to the asset. And then it scores it all. And then you get what's ultimately the Crow score. And this is the scoring metric. A 51 to 77 is a likely safe. 36 to 50 has potential risk. And then 1 to 35, I wouldn't consider it safe. And so, and I'm basically using this now to, I'm going to start doing content. I'm going to be doing one today where I'm going through a report and going over its findings. And the thing is that these reports are finding things that I would never even think to look up. I mean, they're insane. And like the one I'm going over next or today is about 25 pages long. I'm not going to be going through the entire thing, but just to kind of get a gauge on what's happening with the project. So, there are some bugs here and there. Like I've run into some and I get them fixed, but sometimes what happens I forgot, and you can use Crow tokens. So there you go. You're going to be able to buy reports. I wonder if I can log in. No, I can't log in up here yet. But basically you can buy a report with the Stripe, like a credit card if you want, or you can buy it with Cardano, or you can buy them with Crow tokens. Like a report will cost you 10 million Crow tokens. It's roughly the equivalent of $5. And I think right now it's probably like 7 ADA for a report. I mean, so it's like nothing. But sometimes when you try to run a report, it'll show up in the marketplace before it shows up in your My Report section. And that's because there's a weird issue. I think I fixed it this morning, but I won't know. If you run into that, just submit a bug and I'll address it and I'll fix it right away. That's the thing. I vibe coded this whole platform and it does work. I've got like 10 full-blown reports in the marketplace already for like $3. A lot of them are Cardano native assets. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because it was a big milestone that I got this working, and it will be 100% soon. And then once I know, and a lot of people are using it and getting some enjoyment out of it, and they're getting the reports and they love the reports, then I'll take the beta off and I'll just let it go. Because it should be that way. I mean, I should get any of the kinks out here in the next couple of days. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, I think that the overall market sentiment to everything right now is we're going up. I mean, we're going to be going up. I think the altcoin market is going to have a boom like nobody's ever seen. I really do wholeheartedly believe that. And at some point this week, I'm probably going to be doing a video where I'm using AI to really calculate a lot of data points that I think need to be included, try and find a pattern if there is one, and then set up some Cardano asset projections over the rest of this year. I will tell you this, and I'm not trying to be insanely bullish. I'm not trying to be like stupid about it. I have done so much testing utilizing 2 different AI models and a lot of different metrics already. And a lot of these AI models are telling me that Cardano will very realistically get somewhere between $8 and $12 by the end of this cycle. And I've even seen some higher than that. I saw one of them told me like $13.50, and I'm like, come on, man. It's so hard to believe when everything has been so stagnant for so long and Cardano's still under $1. But I do believe that this next big leg up, I think that when I do believe that Bitcoin's likely going to end up breaking somewhere around 250. I do. Back here, you guys remember this. I don't even remember when I did this. I know it was a long damn time ago. I put, this is October, and I basically said, it would likely break somewhere around $281,000 in October of this year. And it was like, no, it's going to 2026. I still think we're in line with something like this. But I will say that I do believe that the altcoins are going to perform. But I do think that it's not going to be until Bitcoin breaks like 150-ish before it starts really dropping in dominance. And as it goes from like 150 to 250, that's going to be the period where its dominance starts to wane little by little by little by little, and the altcoin markets start ebbing and flowing the way it used to. And I think that's going to start coming to a serious culmination by October. That's what I think is going to happen. I've been watching this shit now incessantly on so many different levels in so many different ways. And, back when I was putting like this specific chart together, even I was like, man, I hope this is right. But everything I'm looking at is basically telling me like October, November is going to be insane. And then once Bitcoin does peak, everything else is going to happen very quickly. We're probably going to have 30 to 90 days max where the altcoin markets have a significant blow off top and the remaining liquidity flows into the altcoin world. And it's going to start with the higher market capitalization tokens and work its way down. That's really what I think is happening, folks. And I'm sticking to that. An actual Cardano price prediction, I'm not going to do just yet. When I do it and I'm ready for it, and I'm really ready to update it with significant data to back it up, and like reasoning behind it, I will definitely be titling the video, my October Cardano price prediction or whatever I call it. So, if you're interested in that, make sure you tune in. I might even put that out on cryptocrow.io first. I might schedule that or something. I don't know. We'll see. But you can see here, this is Bitcoin on a 30-minute chart, and we're under the moving average. And I really think that we're probably going to get the next leg down here very soon. And when here's the thing, I would love to set all my candles up the way they are on my trading platform. But my only concern is, and maybe it's not a big deal. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask her. She might not care. It's just a lot of what I'll be covering is there are a lot of the things that you learn in the Trade Travel Chill course. And just like looking for the M's and W's, the three, the 1, 2, 3 rise up or 1, 2, 3 rise down, the board meetings, all of that. And I don't want to sound like I'm just trying to blatantly rip off Annie, because She's so phenomenal. And like, let's put it this way. If I were doing a video doing technical analysis and Annie was doing a video, you damn well better watch hers, not mine. I mean, that's all I can tell you. If you're wanting like to get my impressions of things with all of the other ramblings that I do in the midst of all of that, and you're not really an active trader, then you're fine with me. We're good. You're like, it's all good. But if you're looking for really strong entries and exits with very clear understanding as to the whys and hows of it, you're better off watching Annie for technical analysis, because I'm learning from her, and I just want to make sure that the credit goes where it's due. But overall, man, I mean, it's definitely getting really, really interesting, and I'm very proud of the trade, very proud of crowscore.com. Make sure you check it out. The reports are cheap, and you know what? I really do want this whole hashtag crowscore to be a thing. I want to get the site 100%, which I mean, it pretty much is for the most part. It's doing really well. Me and the guy on there, we look identical, right? I mean, we look absolutely identical, right? Yeah, close enough. So anyway, let's take a quick look at chat, see if there are any questions or comments I need to address before I go ahead and start recording this other video I've got to knock out. I see Big Pay. What's going on, brother? I think we're going live tomorrow, right? I think that's tomorrow. What is today? The 14th. I think yeah. That's I'm either live with you tomorrow or Jerry with Apex Fusion. I can't remember, but I know one of us is going live. I know I'm going to be here. We'll see. And because you've got Atrium, man, like getting ready to kick off, and so I'm definitely looking forward to learning a lot more about that and where it's been, because when I first checked it out, I don't know how long ago was that. I mean, I could tell this was going to be a really big deal and a fun platform. So sorry, Crow, keep shorting the market so it keeps going up. I mean, I made $1,000 this morning off a short. I don't know what you did. Let's see. Holy shit. ADA 70%, 76% away from its all-time high of September 21, almost 4 years ago. Yeah, I mean, when Cardano breaks $1, it'll be a big milestone again for sure, because I remember what a milestone that was in the 2021 cycle too. Nobody thought it was coming. Nobody thought it would break $1. I remember this guy sent me a message, and he's like, "Yo, can we have a call?" And I'm like, "Sure, man." So and we talked on the phone. He was like, "Me and 4 friends just bought a shit ton of Cardano because of your video." And I can't remember what they bought it at, but it was crazy low. I mean, I think it was like 2 or 3 cents. And he's like, "Dude, if this just gets to $1, we're buying an island and we want you to come party with us." And I'm like, "All right, cool." Well, it hit $3. I never heard from that guy again. So I don't know if they ever exited. I don't know if like they legitimately sold it at $1 and just their lives changed overnight. Now they're all off in the Bahamas on the island they bought. I have no idea. I've never heard from them again. So yeah, I didn't get my island vacation. I didn't get none of that. But hopefully they're all doing well, but yeah, I had several conversations like that. And the thing is that when the market is the way it's been, people get tested, man. And it's just like, we